So me again with some Google fun. So Kelly Parks of Comwater's Cloud Accounting Resources. Going to do a couple of fun things here. So the first one I want to show you is this little bit of magic. Docs, new, and boom. You open up a brand new document. Let's try sheets.new. Super fun. Okay, how about calendar.new? Can we create an event from there? Yes, we can create an event from here. Cool. Okay, how about slides.new? So essentially, you're getting the idea. We can do all kinds of fun things here. So slides.new. Let's open up a new tab. I like a clean opening page because I use all kinds of bookmarks to get things done. But if you want some fun things, you can have shortcuts, you can have cards, and you can work on your colors and themes from there. So that's fun. Okay, let's go into here and let's talk about a few of the things that help us when we are managing the formatting bar. Actually, let's start with keyboard shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts are super fun. So I'm going to do, let's do keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so this is a fun one of mine. I'm going to highlight it. I am going to hit Control K, and it is going to open up a link for me. I'm going to hit Control V and pop in my URL to the thing I was trying to put in there. I didn't make that look as much fun as it is. I use that all the time. So adding a link, Control K, Control V, put it on in there. But let's say that I just want to highlight a link that already is a URL. Control K. Oh, I didn't do that very well. Okay, let's do www.comwaters.ca. Control K turns that directly into a link without having to do anything else. That's kind of fun. So shortcuts, other shortcuts that are useful, Control C, I just Controlled C, and now I'm going to Control V, but now I want to have no formatting on it, so that is Control Alt V, but I made a mistake, so we're going to go Control Z, and we are going to get rid of that. I use Control Z all the time. That one can undo heck of a mess of things, so you don't have to go and redo things. Control Z is your friend. Here we go with something that a friend of mine showed me that I now use all the time. It's called Paint. So this is specifically formatted. You can see that it is a heading, it's Calibri, it's 20, it's blue. Those would be a lot of things to toggle on if I just want to use them again. So instead, I would go to the Paint icon. So highlight it, go to the Paint icon, and then roll it over something, and the next thing you know, you've got that exact same formatting. Let's take a run through the formatting bar in general. Insert is where I like to do a lot of things. So you can upload an image. Let's search an image from the web. And what do we want? We want puppies again. So we're going to search for puppies. Aha. Let's put these guys in, and we're going to insert it. And then the next thing you know, we've got images right in there. One of the things that I really love is right here is I want to make these into check marks. So you can actually make a list of things within a Word document. You can then check them off. That super good feeling of being done things, right? And that gets rid of those for you. Okay, let's take a roll through the formatting bar a little bit more. So insert is fun. You can put all kinds of things in. Let's put a horizontal line in. We can do a footnote. Drop downs are fun. Let's do project status. So it gives you the option of drop downs. Emojis. I mean, who doesn't love emojis? I've got them actually on my keyboard anyways. But I want to go into here for a second, and that is there is this wonderful thing now in Google Docs where you can go pageless. I have this as a setting so that I am always pageless, and then I don't have to worry about that whole weird thing it does when breaking the pages up into ways that I don't want it to. It's fun. Extensions. So you can start to add on extensions. We talked a little bit about this in the Chrome browser, but you can also do it right within documents here. Formatting, here's one that I like. If you've mucked around with your formatting and now you don't want it, you can get rid of it all in one fell swoop. You can also do that right here. The other place then you can do a lot is by right-clicking. So that gives you a lot of options on things to do as well. I'm not doing it in the right place. So right-clicking here will give you some other options. This is one that I use a lot. And actually, I'll pop something into a Word document if I've done it wrong in an email too. So if you go into format and you go into, you can change your capitalization. So sometimes I'm running along and I've hit the caps lock and I don't want it all in uppercase, but I don't want to retype it. So you can go into here and change it. It is super easy to do. So let's just first, let's uncheck it. Then we're going to go into here. Then we are going to go into format, text, capitalization. Let's make it all uppercase. This is so helpful in changing these things around easily. The other things I love is find and replace. So we go into edit, we go to find and replace. We are going to replace kittens and we are going to replace it with puppies. And then we can replace all, or we can make our way through them to double check that we're doing them correctly. And there we have it. We now have puppies from kittens. One last thing that's really fun on documents is don't title them if you already have a perfectly good title. So if you've given it a header, you don't have to retype it. All you need to do is click in the title area. That's a time saver for sure. Okay, now we're going to have some fun in Sheets. I'm going to show you some of I'm not going to go through the whole thing on pivot tables and formulas. I just want to show you some of the other fun things that you can do in Sheets to make them useful. So one of them is angled text, and that is right here. I like angled text. It just gives it, oh, it's right here. It just gives it a little bit more of a fun factor, makes it a little bit more engaging. It's okay for us to have fun in our apps and make them engaging to us. These are checkboxes. They are right here from Insert. Again, I love to be able to check through things. And so this makes for a little bit more of an engaging worksheet. I like to freeze rows and columns. Let's see if I've got one that's frozen. There we go. I love freezing them so that I can scroll through and not lose the important header or side information here. Freeze rows is under View. You can go under Freeze, and then you can set how many you would like to freeze. That's fun. And I want to talk about multiple sheets. I find, especially for my remediation workflow, so this is a remediation workflow. Although every rescue file is a little bit different, there is stuff you have to do for each and every one of them for sure. But they are complicated to do. So here would be the reporting. And here would be the verifying of the GL against the statement, against the report ending balances. Verifying the key GLs. But right here is, and again, see how we haven't lost that navigation to the side? Here is where we would be clicking off for all of the various bank statements that we need, and you can keep rolling down through there. So I find multiple sheets. I don't know if you call them sheets, tabs, pages, whatever it is. They're super useful. Okay, now we're going to have a little bit of fun in slides. I use slides for lots of things. I build client collaboration guides in here. I built employee onboarding handbooks in here. I do my presentations, obviously, but I use it a lot more than I actually use documents because there's so many fun things you can do with them. But one of the things that people hesitate on is they don't want it to look like a slide deck. Well, you can actually change that fairly easily. Go into page setup, and you can make it any size that you want. So you can make it 8.5. You can kick it old school here, make it 8.5 by 11, and you can apply that size. So it doesn't have to be the standard size that you see. You can import a theme. Importing themes is kind of fun. So let's import this theme right here. Let's get me out of the way. How about that? So we're going to import that theme. There we go. And now I've got the basics of the new theme that I want. Then I just need to go and change the layout of the slide. So let's do SOAR. Of course, not going to work out very well because I reformatted the size. But that's kind of an easy way to bring in themes. You don't have to redo your slides. You can bring in the new themes. You're going to have to fool around with a few things in it, but it's pretty great to do that. So then very often what I do is I take the presentations and I turn them into a PDF. Any links that you put in will remain live in the PDF, by the way. So you can download the entire document as a PDF. You can only download JPEGs page by page. So you want to download the PDF document, and then you can give it out so that nobody can make changes to it. So that's kind of the fun with slides. One of the reasons that I use slides rather than documents is because importing, let's just duplicate that slide. Let's change the theme. No, let's change the layout. We're going to go here, and then it is really easy to insert images. Let's upload from the web again, and this time we're going to do hamsters. So we got some hamsters. Let's get Hammy the hamster in there. We're going to insert Hammy. So Hammy goes in, but then you can make Hammy even more engaging because you can do all kinds of format options with Hammy the hamster. And one of the ones that I like doing is I like adding drop shadows so that it has more depth to what the image looks like. I got to get me out of the way again. So let's give it a little more distance, a little more blur radius. And then Hammy the hamster is a little bit more engaging. Let's put a border around Hammy. And then you've got an image in there that's great. But what's really nice, because this is where, so inserting images into Google Docs can be a bit of dodgy business. And then the other thing that happens, if you want to do borders on anything, you have to remember to do the borders ahead of time on a Google Doc, or you are monkeying about with it like it's nobody's business. You're using tables. This is much easier way to add borders to things. So that's what I love about slides. Actually, one of the things that's kind of fun that I forgot to mention in Google Docs is, and we're stuck, is that you can actually insert, I use tables so that we can insert text boxes. And then you can send these out and people can fill out their text boxes, and it does not change the overall layout of a Word document. So this is a nice way to make the Google Docs fillable. And now we're going to do a couple of things in Google Forms. So I'm going to show you some of the basics of Google Forms that's really cool. First of all, brand your Google Forms. It's super easy. Up here, customize theme. And then you can choose an image. They have standard images, so let's just pick one. Or you can upload your own logo, your own image. So let's just insert that image. And now it is going to, whoa, it's going to change the branding for us to match. But I'm a bit of a control freak, so I want to change that theme myself. I can go ahead and change it. I can add that to it, and I can pick that, although they did a better job of it than I did. So you can have some control of the color as well. You can change the font. You can change the size of the font. You can do all kinds of things. It takes 2 seconds to brand a form. Don't leave it in its natural state. Put a little bit of effort into it and start to make it engaging. You can have the name on the form and then a form description. But what's really cool is if you, did you eat breakfast? Okay, so did you eat breakfast? It's going to turn it into multiple choice, but it is, if you have what did you eat for breakfast, it's going to change the kind of question. Oh, maybe it's not going to. It would normally turn it into automatically. It's because I'm stuck somehow here. What did you eat for breakfast? Let's try that again. And then, oh, okay, I give up. Even doing it live, I can't do it. It would normally turn it into a short answer or a paragraph for you. It's kind of magic. I'm not sure why it won't do it for me right now, but it is kind of magic that when you go to start typing in a question, it will actually kind of pick what kind of question it is so that you don't have to monkey around with that too much. You can add images. Again, you can search for images. I don't know. Let's Google image something, and let's look for kittens. Aw. Right, and let's add a kitten photo. So that's going to add an image for us. You can embed a video. You can add a section so that if you break things up into sections and they answer the question the right way, you can actually go to a section based on an answer. You can add just titles and descriptions. You can import questions from various sources. So that makes your life a little bit easier. And you can, we've already done a little bit of the questions. You need to go into settings and change some of these things. Do you want to make it a quiz? So you can make it a quiz. Do you want to collect email addresses? You'll see in a minute that will give you the option. You don't have to ask for their email address. It will be in there in a minute. You'll see it. Allow response editing, require sign in, limit response to one. No, they can do more than one, or maybe you want only one. You can then dump everything into a spreadsheet. You can link it to an existing spreadsheet, or you can create a new spreadsheet from it. Let's go back to questions. You'll see that it added that email in there. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is I believe in cloud data location redundancy, and that includes my forms. So I'm a heavy user of Typeform, but I build forms in Google Forms first because you can import them into Typeform. You can import Google Forms into a number of different formats. So that is something to keep in mind as well when picking your apps. You can build it here, you could build it in a spreadsheet, you could build it in a Word document, but really, if you want a form to be translated into another app, use Google Forms and it imports it beautifully. Okay, so there you have it. We ran through some keyboard shortcuts. We ran through some of the basics of formatting. We ran through some use case scenarios, and I hope this video was helpful. Thanks.